Welcome to the United States of America, which doesn't mean we're on a Hollywood film set.
In traditional times, hula was done by people who spent years and years of diligent work to make this dance the rich cultural tradition that it was. They weren't just these simple-minded dances of Hollywood starlets dancing in the grass skirts who knew nothing of what they were dancing. And what's so unfortunate about this is what most people think that hula is, what they see. For many Hawaiians who are living away from Hawaii, hula will always remain that strong factor that connects them back to home. Hula is something that really taught me of what it's like to be Hawaiian. It taught me about my Hawaiianness. It opened this door to my past that I never had before.
Over here in California, they're going to pass down the culture and the history about Hawaii. They're not going to pass down the blood quantum, but Hawaii is going to stay alive because of them.
We sort of make wherever we live kind of our own Hawaii. So we may be in California, but we make it our Hawaii. Proud to be Hawaiian.
Hoiki ke ia moku ia kanaloa, aku a mo ana ia uli, ke holo ne me ke au kahili, o hai hai mai kamakani e.
I ulu no kalala I ke kumu. The branches grow because of the trunk.
What this is just getting you up to start to dance, actually, and to tell the story, okay?
Be strong, feel it.
Olo ikikai! Hoi! Okay?
My name is Sissy Kai'io. I am the kumuhula for Hula Halau o Lilinoe, na Pua me ke Aloha in Carson, California.
Then they say, na me e kula na o kapati ika.
My family comes from priests and priestesses of Pele. When I had gone home for my blessing over 20 years ago to start teaching, so to speak, I knew that I had a responsibility.
Okay, guys. E na me e o kikai. E na me e o kikai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay?
But it means here are the gods of the sea. Okay? Famous are the gods of the sea.
The hula is, of course, the focus of what we do, but it's a way of life. That's what we're learning and what we're teaching.
Hey, no, come out.
Oh, thank you so much, boys. Thank you.
That's basically how we teach hula. Is we have a lot of families, first of all, that belong to the halau, more about ohana or family atmosphere. We try to teach them about patience, older haumana taking care of younger haumana. Most of all, aloha, love for one another. That's how the halau runs. It's like a family. Okay. We thank you, Lord, for all the many blessings you have given us, and most of all for allowing us our kupuna and our amakua to guide us each and every day. And we say these things humbly in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Real quick.
There's nothing that can replace the aina or the land back home, because there's just, it can't be replaced. Our ancestors lived there, died there, so that's what's important. But we've made a little Hawaii for ourselves here in the mainland.
Brandon!
We've been married 26 years.
26 years. August the 3rd. 1974.
Almost didn't get that
Close
right.
one,
Yeah, almost didn't get that one right.
Lincoln and I, when we got married, we moved back to Hawaii, and we had a hard time, so we moved back here. It wasn't because we moved away because we wanted to. We moved away because of necessity. And sometimes what happens is that if you have to struggle to survive, you become a different person. Brett and I both work at Toyota. I work in the finance division of the credit corporation. And I am a technical analyst. Little nice title. But what I do is I build like different applications for different groups to use to automate their work. And it's kind of fun because it's quite different than hula. It's very corporate. There's a few people at work that know I teach hula, but they don't really know in the depths of what I do, or even why we would even dedicate so much of our time to it. They don't get it.
We're getting minor around here. We're getting slap happy. Yeah.
I know what happened after a while. The women is starting to get cut.
I didn't hear that.
Hey, listen.
listen.
This lunch and dinner.
When we were growing up, if we didn't have Vienna sausage, spam, and sardine in a can, we didn't have any meat.
Unless a family dog was available.
Actually, Hawaii has the largest spam intake per person out of all 50 states. They love spam there.
This is a love song. It means relax, my dear. And let us make love. Here, Jackie, show the dance. What? Here we.
Yeah, Jackie. You go, Jackie.
Oh, wait. Here you go. Oh, my love. Let us kiss.
Okay. Back to sausage.
You know, whenever I hear Hawaiian music, you know, I think of Hawaii, and I just automatically I'm there.
Even now, when I'm talking to you and listening to the music, like a chicken skin, how can you not feel it? You know, because it's innate. It's innate in me. And my mind goes back to my family, my mom. I am Hawaiian.
These are all
Hey, no, come here, man.
I know I've been wanting to move back home for years, but I can't because I have a responsibility here. I think back home, you know, there's much more support. Being here on the mainland, we have to try a little bit harder.
Teddy, good head movement.
Hey, Rob.
What?
Who is?
What? Hey, everybody, this is Rick. Let's say hi, Rick.
Hey, Rick. How you doing?
We're gonna have to keep it down a little bit. The local residents like to sleep in.
They're trying to sleep in. They gave us a call.
No problem. We'll keep it down.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go through it again. Moss, Rob, and Jimmy, line leader. Two.
It's been so nice these last few years that the competitions that we have been in, we could have our kupuna, our gracious ladies, different age groups, our men and our women, our keikis.
Eku, baby, ha-cha-cha.
For a whole week, you're on a hotel floor that's just the halal. Everybody gets to know each other a little bit better.
There. Now that looks better. Does anybody got any mousse? Okay, let's gel that head, please.
Hula competitions give you an opportunity to perfect your students. It gives them a goal.
You know, because like Robert Corona's, yours is a little bit too high. And it needs to be a little bit wider, pulled out a little bit. And make sure that when I look on the side that I don't see no olos, okay?
Just pull the sides in.
Gentlemen, your lepo should be going like this, straight across, not down like it's not a halo, okay?
The intention for us in the competition has always been to come together. We've never placed the importance of the awards. It's how the students feel about themselves, about doing their best.
Everything. You did really well, Robert.
Thank you.
So tell us, who did you dance for today?
For my grandma.
I asked them to choose a special person that they would like to dedicate their kahiko and their awana as a makana.
I told everybody in there that when I get ready for awana, that after I get done, I'm gonna come outside. It'll be raining because my grandma will be crying. It felt good though. Yeah, it felt good. Our dear, kind, and gracious Heavenly Father, as we say this word of prayer, we ask that you will lay your hands upon us this evening. Give us the strength and guidance to do what we came here to do, to dance as warriors, to be strong and as one. And I say these things humbly in thy name. Amen. Amen. Hold on.
Hey, right now we turn from dancers to warriors. On three. Nakani. 1, 2, 3. Nakani!
You know how hard we've worked? Getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning says a lot to me about all of you men and how determined you were to learn this mele and to do it as properly as it is going to be done today with all of your mana. Do it for all the generations that came before and all the generations that's going to come after us. This particular chants has a lot to do with your own genealogy. So Maikai, right?
After this is done, no talking at all. Total focus. Okay, ready? Iku mama! Ikuva! Iku mama! Iku hulu hulu! Ika lanavau! Ikuva! Ikuva huki! Ikuva ko! Ika lanavau! Huki e! Kuri e! Iku mama! Ikuva! Iku mama! Iku hulu hulu! Ika lanavau! Ikuva! Ikuva huki! Ikuva ko! Ika lanavau! Huki e! Kuri e! On the hill, let's go.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you guys.
Proud of all of you guys. You guys was awesome. So good. It went by so fast. I want to do it all over again.
It went by just too fast.
Yeah.
Too fast.
You just can't explain that feeling to be a part of such a special group of ladies. And it wasn't like, so much winning. But it was the feeling that we did everything together, we practiced together, we laughed, we cried together, and then now we've come to a closure, and we still, we feel so good. I just can't explain it. Thank you.
Enjoy our time here. This place, I've named it Palama, and Palama means a place of enlightenment.
My intention has always been that through hula, they would learn to bring those things that were Hawaiian into their lives because we live so far away. In order to truly get to our culture, there are some things that we do practice out of respect. We're working with students who have maybe never been to Hawaii. So our method of teaching has to be very descriptive, and then we have to use the environment here to make those comparisons of what the ocean looks like, what the sky looks like at a certain time. Here on the mainland, we found this special place, a sacred place. We named it Paloma. We've taken this long journey, but we still look out westerly to our home in Hawaii.
He no han no lana kila I o ki kanini boa kia uatu ea chuku airline. Uato hunai ano tamoan kulia I kanu. Strive for the highest. Sometimes I think people back home look down on us thinking that we're not there, and they're mistaken. I'm not second-rate Hawaiian. For me, hula is war, and it's competitive, and I want to be the best, like Kamehameha, to prove what I am. My name is Mark Kelly Ho'omang, and my halau is here in the OAK in Oakland from the dark side of California. Oakland town, where I belong.
It's a struggle out here. It comes down to survival of the fittest. As long as what I do survives, it helps Hawaii as a whole.
I just want to teach more. Live in a cardboard box. Smoke my cigarettes, have my Starbucks coffee, and have a good time. Uncle George Noope has described hula as the innermost expression of yourself, the poetry put into motion. And I thought that was a beautiful way of saying it. It's a great way of expressing yourself, and I think it's a common thing for all cultures to do. Try again. It is again ha'ina. If you know on you guys' motions, you guys almost. So stop a little while. Yeah? This is a ha'ina. What's your first motion, ha'ina? What's the difference between that and turn your thing, chest up, your body up, ha'ina, ho, iya. What's after that? Ow. Anaka. Yeah? And then your cow. 1, 2. Okay, what is this? 2, 3, 4. Half of it is your expression of movement. You can make the tree as straight as can be, just straight like that, but your body look like that. Yeah? Stand up, put your chest out, put your whole body into your stuff. Be more expressive of what you guys are doing. Smile, Auntie.
Aunties don't go first. Aunties don't go first. Aunties go after last. Come on. Get into trouble,
I was born Hawaiian, and I can go anywhere in the world and be Hawaiian. But when I fly back now, that's no longer home. There is no more sugarcane field in Hawaii. It's all gone. Coconut groves are now shopping centers or golf courses, and you cannot find a coconut in Hawaii. On the west and the south shore, you can't find one. They cut all coconuts off for protection of tourists. You color my voice. It was the eating that nobody took care of. So how do you tell the kids about that? I feel sorry for Hawaii. They don't see the change, but when you go away for 20 years and you go back home and you see that drastic change. Hawaii is only about this big. We used to be on whole island. It's just suffocated. There's no mountain left untouched. No, that's a bad thing. I left Hawaii because I was young and I was looking for my place. Ambition sets lots of young men afoot. When do you become the source? When do you become that kumuhula? Go to that spot. There is a set of people in Hawaii that want to criticize my style of hula. The sound and the different rhythms. You don't have to listen to for 50 years. It makes your brain go dead. And I'm young and I'm a little bit more inventive, and somebody invented that beat, so I just kind of, you just change it's the same rhythm, it's the same beat, it has the same timing, it just has an extra added sound that kind of fills up the gap in the space of, that's really boring. My hulas, they're a little bit brash and aggressive and smart aleck and sassy. Like it's cool. And that's what I think makes my hula different. I come from a regimented type of school. When we first came out in the 70s, it was a renaissance of man dancers. Real connies coming out, real men coming out. They picked men dancing, and not a soft style. It was more masculine, more vigorous. It kind of changed that stigma for men dancers. I joined with Darul Penui on the Waimapuna. And I learned a whole different hula scene. It's not just going out there and dancing for tourists and stuff. It was halal style dancing. Now that I'm a kumu, we go to Merry Monarch Hula Festival. I love Merry Monarch. That's the Olympics of hula.
This is Paula Akana. Welcome to the 35th annual Merry Monarch Hula Festival. For 1 week in April, the little town of Hilo and the entire island of Hawaii are consumed with the native art form of hula. Visitors come from everywhere as 25 halau prepare and perform at the now world-famous hula competition.
From Oakland, California, Kumu Hula Mark Keli'i Ho'omalu, the men of Kamuani Hali'ala Opuna.
The mele recounts a revolt against the provisional government that established itself after the overthrow of Queen Liliuokalani.
Merry Monarch is stomping grounds. The best come out to put their best on the floor. They know how prestigious it is, and they want to go out there and make their mark. Everybody does. A lot of friends and family always wanted me to change. You know, just do something that the judges know comes from your kumu hula stuffs and it'll be better for you. And I refused. That's not what my kumu said. My kumu, the last thing he told me was to do my best and do my own. And I followed those words to the letter.
Hey, you know, hey, hey, oh, hey, hey, you know, hey, hey, oh, hey, 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 hey.
That makes me feel a little better.
I need Jesus.
You guys get one shot. No warm up, no practice.
We can do it.
Sit down. She's nervous. She's nosy and she's nervous. All you guys uli ulis are here, yes? Now that today is complex, hula is complex too. And anybody who wants to stop that, they're not perpetuating the hula. They're preserving the past. And the past belongs in the past. You can honor it and review it, but if you're going to live there, let me get my shovel because I need to bury you where you belong.
He has gone on to do good things with all of the teachings that he has been given. So without any further ado, please welcome to the stage our friends from San Leandro, Kumuhula Mark Keli'i Ho'omalu, and Na Mele Hula Ohana.
If we don't progress, we're going to lose our future. And once it's gone, it's dead. The traditionalists don't want you to ever change. But I just go. I do what I do. If that's what unorthodox is, then that's what I am. And that's the kumu. that you're looking for tomorrow. That's tomorrow's kumu hula.
Aloha. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Namele Hula Ohana, Kumu Hula, Mark Kelly Ho'omala from Oakland.
Hawaii is my mom. That's the mother. And what I am comes from there, but I'm not separate from that. Home is still home. This is just an extension of home. It's an extension of Hawaii. It's not different. You know, I tell everybody, wherever I put my feet belong to Hawaii too. I'm a Hawaiian boy, a son of Hawaii. Where I put my feet belongs to Hawaii too.
Mali, stirring up still waters.
Over every time.
Spread out a little bit more. Meha meha, 5, 6, 7, and Ua meha. Okay, stop. Aloha. My name is Patrick Makua Kane, and I'm originally from Honolulu, Oahu, now living in San Francisco. I'm not into competing. I would much rather put on a big show. That way I can do whatever I want.
Every time I close my
Traditionalists are always complaining that a lot of hula today looks very modern, you know, it's not grounded in traditionalism. If you were to shut the music off in the contemporary music, and you just heard me snap my fingers, you could easily think that you're watching a traditional hula. Okay, and also too, boys, when you pow, hey no kamehameha, boom boom. Just stay there until you hear the music, and when you hear the music, move. Because remember what happened the last time, so you don't have to like, I left Hawaii because I wanted to get an education, and I had every intention of moving back home. But the main reason why I decided to stay was because there was a rather large, extensive Hawaiian community here.
Every girl gets a different material. And we're making enemies right now as we assign materials. Girls they're not all going to be happy.
I first started with Patrick. Yeah, we have. God, it's been about 16 years, 15 years since I've been dancing with him. I think the type of environment that we're in, San Francisco, and you know, almost anything goes. I mean, he started experimenting years ago.
We were really nervous about how they were going to perceive us, you know, because it's pretty racy.
I do everything with hula, I like to say. We do very traditional things, and then we do very contemporary things. And hula in Hawaii is that's like the last bastion of tradition. You know, you don't touch hula, you don't mess around with hula. Otherwise, gong. If I was living in Hawaii, I would be having people looking over my shoulder all the time. Living in a town like San Francisco has really enabled me to expand my artistic boundaries. Okay. I knew I was going to teach hula, but I didn't realize that I was going to be teaching it in the mainland. You can't live on teaching hula alone. I'm a personal trainer, and I'm also a DJ. I do a lot of dancing to pop music, progressive house trance music, even to an aria. You name it, I've done it. People used to give you a second look if you're a man dancing hula. It was the domain of women. When I first started, there were very few men dance. And over the years, it just really exploded.
Having grown up in the mainland, I just didn't realize that hula was more than just what we saw in the media, but it was a real art form, a way of conveying, interpreting, and continuing history and culture.
It's sort of a resurgence of hula over the last, I'd say, 15, 20 years, and which is really exciting.
I've always wanted to learn the hula, and it's always been part of my culture. And this was an exciting time for me to start learning. And that's how I got involved with the halau.
I work for the fire department. I'm not afraid to show my love for the hula. Even with all the other guys, you know, they have that stereotype sometimes about hula, and you do the hula.
When I thought of hula, I was thinking of like pearly shells, tiny bubbles, and dan ho. And it's so graceful and just so beautiful, and it's kind of like everything is actually coming from like your heart when you dance it.
Okay, are you guys almost ready? This goes right into the men's piece.
After the 70s and the cultural renaissance, it became commonplace for men to dance the hula. My kumu hula, Robert Casimiro, gave hula this fresh kick that it never had before. When I first joined the halau, he was doing a lot of contemporary things. He made it much more exciting, made the movements more interesting and intricate and out of the boundaries of traditional movement. And what happened because of that is you're able to look back, well, where did all this movement originate from? Well, it originated from these beautiful chants. And then you can go, oh, I see, that's where it started. And then you're able to appreciate where it came from.
One malu last time. And dark move. I don't take traditional chants and dances and contemporize them, so to speak. I leave it alone. In its pristine form, it's beautiful. It shouldn't be touched. In traditional dancing, without language, you didn't have hula. The dancing itself served as an embellishment to the language.
kauna is that idea of poetic symbolism, and how it's so important in hula that you had that kauna, or veiled meaning, things were alluded to, and the text of the poetry that we danced to had all of these heavy and thick meanings that were really important. Nui mai to aloha e hako ukino hiki mai ke aloha kupo uli hane no vaue ue iho itamea mai kai he aloha. Yeah, this is typical of a Kumuhula's house. I mean, we throw all our messy hula stuff in the back. Try to keep the rest of the house clean, but my Hawaiian room is just like trashed in the back. And my ukulele on the floor, and my ipo, and we're getting ready for a show, and all the paraphernalia thrown out everywhere. This is a great picture of Namo'i Hawaii, the rulers of Hawaii from Kamehameha I. We do a lot of our dances actually are for King Kalakaua, who ruled Hawaii from 1874 to 1891. Kalakaua was dubbed the Merry Monarch because of his interest in hula and Hawaiian music. He said, hula is the language of the heart, and therefore the heartbeat of the Hawaiian people. Our shows involve a lot of historical and cultural context so that people understand that this is a dance that comes from very rich, involved tradition. It talks about how we started off before pre-European contact, what happened as a result of that contact, especially with the missionaries, what happened because of the conversion to Christianity.
In 1893, Hawaii's last monarch, Queen Liliuokalani, was overthrown by a provisional government comprised mainly of American businessmen, many of whom were descendants of the missionary. After the Queen was dethroned, the Hawaiian flag was lowered from the Iolani Palace and replaced with the American flag. The sons and daughters of the missionaries then proceeded to cut the Hawaiian flag into strips and pass them out to one another like ribbons as a memento of their triumph over the Hawaiian people.
Now, here's something that's really amazing that they don't have in Hawaii that we have in San Francisco. And this is a lehua tree. And it grows in Hawaii usually like on mountain ranges or places that it's very difficult to get to. So it was such a trip when I moved here to San Francisco because lehua trees grow on the sidewalk. That used to trip me out for the longest time, to be driving around in the city and like look at these lehua trees on the sidewalk when I thought that as a hula student I have to drag my ass up the mountains to pick this stuff, you know? And in a way it makes me realize what a special place San Francisco is, you know, that I have this bit of Hawaii right in front of my house. I think the future is very bright for hula. There are halal in practically every state in the Union. I mean, hula is everywhere, even internationally. Canada, Mexico, Japan. It's just a testament to how people feel about hula no matter where they are.
Life is the best teacher. Hula has changed every day since day one and will change every day till the end of time. I invite everybody to do hula.
A lot of the students that we have in place right now as teachers will continue with the kinds of gifts and talents that they've been given. With the interest in Hawaii, I really believe the Renaissance will carry on.
Na pua haka uina matahi ina mala mala mahaua hatu ia kalo no pele kane ho alo hete tuni o parani na mai e ka pua iluna o ka paake ano he matua haina ia mai ka pua na no kalani ka wika he inua o mai e kalani o kalaka wano he Pono na motu e ta hitia ho imagin e ka hitia o peletane e mai ta hitia wa wai ba hum e ka o he ka eke e ka ba ho ka ne alo no o no no wi ka makahiki e ho he e ta ne mo na ta ne ha we pa ho ali e o mai e salani o ka la ka no he no ai e o mai e kalani o kalaka wano he inoa e o mai e kalani o kalaka wano he inoa Olu